What's up, guys? My name is Jin3ly. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. I am here at my job, which I will be starting in a few minutes, but I wanted to go ahead and make a YouTube video before I headed in because, I'm in that mindset right now. So, my name is Jin3ly. If you have seen me before, welcome back. If you have not seen me before, again, I introduce myself. My name is Jin3ly. I talk about all things self-care, mental health, self-love, anything that has to do with helping your mind, body, and soul become better and just feeling more balanced with yourself and being your full authentic self. That's what we're working on here. Today's topic is really going to be about making things. It's basically going to be about making things kind of fit to you. Everybody, okay, so for the longest time, let me go ahead and do a little story time. For the longest time, I've always been trying to become a morning person. And you know that if you literally sit there and you watch videos that states, oh, if you want to become a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever the fuck you want to become, you have to do these 10 steps, or there's literally 10 habits of a morning routine that you have to do, or you have to do these 10 habits at night, or you have to do this during the day, you have to do this during your week, blah blah blah, this and that. And for the longest time, I was one of those people that was trying to fit everything, all the routines that I found. I understand drinking water is extremely important, although I suck at that, but I'm working on it. Okay. But for example, waking up early at 5 o'clock in the morning and doing these 3-hour morning routines and, all this stuff. I was trying that for the longest time because I was like, okay, I have all these goals, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to break them down into habits, and those habits are going to go into my schedule. And I'm going to try to do this every single day. And that's going to work for me because it just has to work, and it works for everybody else. And if they are millionaires or billionaires or whatever, it should be able to work for me. So I would try and fail and keep failing over and over again, because what I failed to realize is that I was not actually personalizing. That's what I want to say. I was not personalizing that to me, to who I am, to what my life is, to what my life is surrounded with. So it was like I tried to fit so many things into my schedule, because again, it's a 24-hour grinding mindset out in this world. And what I would do is that I would try it, but then I would fail, and I would not do anything for a really long time because I felt like I failed and I wasn't good and blah blah. I failed also to realize that you do have to take one step at a time. Okay, it's one step at a time. You don't have to just focus on one goal. Okay, I think it depends on how you see goals and how you are able to handle habits and creating habits and breaking them and learning from them. That really does help you out. But really, when it comes to goals and habits, you have to know what works for you. And for me, working on one habit at a time does not work for me because it drives me completely insane. And when I tell you I tried many times to do that, it would just not work. My mind would go insane into 500 other different places that it wasn't supposed to go, and then I'd end up not even focusing on that goal in general. So honestly, for me, what has worked is that I would, for example, now I'm personalizing everything to me. Instead of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every fucking day of my life, which I hate because I'm not a morning person, I'm gonna do my work at night. Whenever I come home from work, whenever I have time to, sometimes when I wake up, usually I wake up around 9 now, because I don't have to work till 4:30, but that's gonna change soon, so I have to kind of switch that around. But I wake up around 9, and then I do what I have to do, have my little morning routine, and then I go from there to, I have my little calendar book. It's so cute, right? I like it. And I would just do what I have to do for the day, and that would be perfectly fine. But when I would try to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it never worked out. I would not feel good about myself because I never did it. And I tried so hard to become something that I was not. I was not and am not a morning person. And I'm not as cranky when I wake up in the morning now, thank the Lord. But yeah, it's just I'm a night person. So what I do and what I've always done is that I used to do everything at night until I started getting caught up in this whole bullshit shit where you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be successful. First of all, you have to define what success means to you. Not everybody wants $1 trillion. Well, yes, everybody wants $1 trillion, but everybody, most, like, for example, somebody can literally, their life goals is to have a beautiful family, to take care of them, to be able to have a roof over their heads, and be able to go to beautiful activities and go on vacations. That's success to them, and they don't literally have to have 6 figures a year to do that for themselves, because they might be minimalistic, and that's perfectly fine. And for me, for example, what I would say success would be is when I'm actually financially stable with something or a job that I actually like to do or want to do or have wanted to done. I'm so sorry. Have wanted to do for a really long time. Have balance in my life, be able to have family time, my friends, be able to travel, have fun, just enjoy life and not be so caught up. Like, I love working, honestly. And I could work literally 16, 18 hours a day if I loved what I do, which I've always worked 2 jobs, literally not necessarily jobs that I actually like to do. So imagine if I actually have something that I love to do, you know what I'm saying? So that's what really success means to me. I don't need to have a whole bunch of money for me. I just want to be financially stable, where I know where my money's coming from. I know that I am going to have it in my bank account every single month, and that my bills are going to be paid, and I don't have to be stressed that I'm fucking, and I have some type of money saved up as well, and be able to invest, because at the end of the day, if something happens to your car, you need to have some money saved, but also invest to be able to grow your money instead of just letting it sit in a bank account. I'm still learning about that, so don't take my word for it. Just go ahead and do your own research. But yeah, so at first I used to do everything at night. I read all these things, and then I was like, okay, let me try the morning stuff. I ended up doing the morning stuff for like 2 or 3 days. Stopped completely doing it. I couldn't do it. My mind was foggy. I was not productive in the morning. It just did not work. And because I thought that I had to do it early in the morning because that's what everybody else was doing, I failed to recognize that that's not what works for me. And that's okay that it does not work for me. So what I've been doing is that I've been trying different things until I figured out what does work for me. And it's a lot of trial and error, because for a really long time, I'm telling you, I've done things that I don't necessarily like to do, or like how I want my life to be structured. It just didn't work out. I always have to look at people around me, because you just never know. Alright, so yeah, personalize everything to you, to how your life is. If you have kids, your life is not going to be the same as mine. Your goals are not going to be the same as mine. Your habits are not going to be the same as mine. So if you are a morning person, become that morning person that you want to be. Be that perfect morning person you want to be. If you are a night person, take advantage of the fucking night. A lot of the times, the people in your house are going to go out to sleep at a certain time, and you can literally have 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours that you can work on whatever it is that you want to work on. So that's that. Make sure that the routines that you choose are routines that you choose for yourself, and that are aligned to your goals and nobody else's goals. Make sure that you do that, because if you do not do that, it will become failure. Because when you do not want something, you're not going to do the effort. You're not going to put in the effort needed to be able to reach those goals. And maybe you might even reach it just because you're that disciplined of a person. But does that make you excited? Does that make you happy? Is it something that you can actually sustain long term? Because if it's not something that you can sustain long term, then what are you doing? Also, make sure that everything that you do, for example, okay, so let me show you how this is what my calendar looks like, okay? And I apologize because there's so much on there, and for the longest time I thought that I always had to do so much in my life to be happy. And I come to understand that the more hecticness that I have in my life, this right here, the more hecticness that I have in my life, the more that I understand that it just does not function with my brain. If I have too much going on, I will put it off to the side because it's not something that I take as a priority. So I take now, what I do is that I focus on 3 to 4 goals consecutively, and I focus on those. Okay, so this is what my calendar looks like now, with everything minimized, with just focusing on 3 to 4 goals, with not having a whole bunch of stuff to do, because first I have to make this consistent in my life and this stick in my life before I can move on adding more. Because how am I supposed to add more if I can't, or I haven't been able to set a foundation for myself to be able to do so. So the good habits, and I'll go ahead and share some of mine. So for example, a morning routine for me, I used to put on there, I need to read in the morning for 30 minutes. I need to, exercise in the morning for an hour and a half. I don't know. I really thought I'm really crazy. I do stuff and I exercise, but I exercise at night because that's me. Yeah, I used to want to do like 100 things a day, literally in the morning, and that did not work for me. So I choose 3 things to do in the morning. And what I do is that I wake up in the morning, I take my dog out. That's number 1. Number 2 is that I do a gratitude stretch. Definitely so meaningful, and you guys should definitely try that out. But I roll out my mat and I do a stretch while I whether recite a mantra or I just give gratitude for everything that I have. So that's definitely has changed a lot of my views on life. It's crazy because at first they always just told me you should do a gratitude meditation, you should do gratitude this, and gratitude is like the base of waking up in the morning. But I've noticed that when you give grace and thanks to everything that you have in your life, your mind becomes like, it's not foggy anymore. Like I finally wake up and my mind is clear. I don't feel like, I don't know, it's just a beautiful feeling, and you guys should definitely try that. If it doesn't work for you, you might have to try something else. And then the last thing I need to do for myself, because I'm really bad at eating my meals, is that I have to eat a meal and I have to drink my daily vitamins. So I have that, if you can see it up there, Ruby, and then gratitude stretch, and then meals and vitamins. And then I have 3 major goals, one of them which I'm not really going to say. I have a 4th goal that I'm working on as well, but that's just like a weekly goal, and that's like financial, which is usually every Friday I will sit down and take a look at my bank statement, take a look at what I have spent, take a look at how much money that I have now and how much I need for whichever bills that are coming up, basically. And since right now I'm kind of on survival mode until I get my other job, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so one of my goals is I've always had a goal to gain weight for the longest time. I promise you, I had a goal to gain weight for the longest time, but I no longer have that as a end goal. Like, yes, I want to still gain weight, but my actual goal that I have is to be consistent with my meals. I've never actually been consistent with my meals, and it's always had to do with how I felt. I've always struggled with like my emotions and my stress and stuff like that. So again, if you've seen my other videos, what I do whenever I'm stressed or super emotional is that I don't eat. So I want to create a pattern of healthily eating, like actually being able to eat even through those emotions, which is going to take me some time. So now I need to set times. I don't necessarily like set exact times of when I have to sit down to eat, but I have like kind of like time frames where I have to eat. Like I have to eat within this time frame. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, that's a specific time frame, and I do not miss it because I do have to have something in my stomach. And then I try to do something by lunchtime, if not something before work, and then something after at night when I come home from work. So yeah, that's that. And then also going to the gym. I need to start going back to the gym. It's crucial for me. It's always been something that definitely gave me endorphins, gave me good feelings, and not necessarily, it doesn't have to do with your actual body itself. Yes, it helps a lot in the way that your body is shaped, However, it helps me out, like with my stress. Whenever I'm stressed out and I go and I have a good pump and I do some weightlifting at the gym, I swear to God, I'll be feeling so good afterwards. So I do that, and then I do have my self-care on here as well. So I have like a few things that I do every day that helps me with self-care. Not exactly every single day, but most days. Chores that I need to get done, things that I need to do, and just that. Yeah, so those are like the little things that I'm actually focusing on right now, and making sure that I stay consistent with these first before I add any other goals to my list or any other habits, or even, enhancing these goals for my future. So there's a lady that's right there, and really when people are in my camera view, I just always have to look. It's so distracting to me. But yeah, guys, I hope this helped you out as much as it helped me. Again, personalize everything to who you are. Okay, once you personalize everything to who you are, you're going to see a big major difference. Make sure that you start step by step. Yeah, and just love yourself for who you are, and don't feel like you have to change because the whole world decides to do something that you are not, that you can't necessarily do or don't want to do. If you guys need any help or any questions, if you guys need help with your goals and how to basically, I might be able to do a video for you guys on that, so I can show you how to actually get your goals and break them down into habits. Money goals, I'm still a little bit lost there, okay? So I'm still learning on that when it comes to finances. But just like in general goals, I can help you out at least as much as I can, or as much as I know, which I've been reading for a really long time. However, my name is Jin3ly. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. I will go ahead and post a blog on this down below. If you have any questions, let me know. I will definitely help you guys out, and I will come with another video for you guys next Monday at 12. As always, I try to post it a little bit earlier just so that way it is on there for you guys. And I love you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah.